Hello everybody, this is the Nintendo Freak and welcome to a new thing that I've decided to do, which I am going to call Direct Discussions. I am your host, the one Nintendo Freak, and with me I am joined by a very good friend of mine, who goes by the name of Nikesh.
Hello!
Say hello to everyone.
Yeah, am I doing an introduction to myself?
Yeah, like...
So I was with Rob, I don't know, a few weeks ago now, when I had a bit of a live stream and recorded some Mario Kart. That was all good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
But
like I say, we're here today to talk about the most recent Nintendo Direct and our thoughts and opinions on the information that was given there. So we're going to jump right into it. And I really want to address, like, the big elephant in the room, which is, like, the last thing that was in the presentation.
Jumping straight to Smash.
Just straight into Smash. That was a huge drop. Like
that was really interesting.
There's
I agree.
So much hype behind this, and that is that Cloud from Final Fantasy VII is going to be in Smash. The reason this is so huge for me is that Cloud has never been on a Nintendo console. Ever.
Yeah, this is like... I at the moment, I mean, this is not strictly about Smash, but I was going to say, like, the way Nintendo is just merging so many IPs together into all of its games is really exciting. Like,
it is.
That is really, really cool to me.
Well, the thing is, like, this is, like, there's a lot of, like, obviously there was this, but there's actually been a lot of Square-related things that Nintendo have been doing recently, which makes me think that maybe Nintendo and Square are getting back together a little bit. I hope. Because, like, the golden days of those were back on the Super Nintendo, and then Square kind of left them after the Super Nintendo and were, like, strictly more of a PlayStation thing. So I'm hoping that there's going to be a little bit more relationships with Square, and that maybe we might see some interesting things coming up. Like, the fact that Cloud is going to be in Smash seems amazing. And because, obviously, we already know full well there's going to be a Final Fantasy VII remake coming up, do you think maybe that could mean Final Fantasy VII might be on the Wii U?
I hope it is. I definitely do hope it is. I mean... It's not for the first time I think that the Wii U definitely needs a bit of love from third parties.
It definitely does, and something like this would be a huge benefit to it. Like, not necessarily, like, because obviously, you know, something like that would also come out on the PlayStation, especially because it's already been shown off to be on the PlayStation. But it would still be a huge benefit to the library to have it in the Wii U's library as well. I think it would be a huge boost for them.
I really liked his the intro that he got as well. It was almost like a bit of a trick, because they started off with the background of Final Fantasy as well.
Yeah, they didn't do the usual. And then
suddenly, like, Cloud joins the battle. Like, oh crap!
They didn't do the usual Smash intro, because usually when they do, like, the Smash stuff, they do like the slice across the screen with the flames in, like, the Smash cross.
Yeah, the flaming plus kind of.
Yeah, they normally do that on, like, the intro to, like, most of the Smash related things. So they didn't do that, so you didn't know it was Smash from the offset, and it was like, that's Final Fantasy, isn't it? Like, you saw, like, the stars and the music, you're like, that's Final Fantasy. Fairly certain that's Final Fantasy, and the Final Fantasy logo came up, and you were like, yep, that's Final Fantasy VII, that's pretty cool, is that coming to Wii U? That sounds neat. And then it was like, Smash Brothers logo came up, and I was like, what? Was not expecting. So that, to me, like, say, it's a huge piece of news. Like, I honestly couldn't believe it. The only bit I'm kind of, like, the fact he's there is amazing, but actually, like, taking a little bit of a look at, like, his character and how it's looking like it's gonna play, like, he's just another sword user. That makes me sad. We have so many sword users in Smash.
Yeah, I did kind of notice that. Like, when I was looking at the, I haven't looked at the video in too much detail, but when I was looking at his moveset, it didn't seem particularly special.
It didn't
like,
seem.
I think that you'll be able to really tell that it's a Final Fantasy character when he does his smash move.
Yeah, like his like he seems to have like limit breaks, and stuff, and like his special moves seem to be different. Like his standard moves, I think, like his A moves and his smash moves, I think, are possibly going to be kind of more generic sword-based moves. But like his actual special moves, his B moves, I think they're going to be more Final Fantasy related. And once again, like I say, he's got like his limit breaks and stuff like that, which is going to make him a bit more unique. And then obviously his final smash of an Omni Smash, Omni Slash. I'm already calling it Omni Smash because it's his final smash.
I reckon that could catch on. That's a pretty
Omni
good
Smash,
intro,
yo. It's the new phrase. So yeah, like that's pretty neat. The bit I was really interested in was the stage they showed. That seemed really kind of neat. Based on, I can't remember the place where Final Fantasy VII's based. Is it like Materia or something? I can't remember what it is. But like the stage that they showed that was going to be coming within looks amazing. And it shows off like all of the like summons and stuff you get in Final Fantasy, which is really quite neat. Seeing all of that. And things, but like I know that stage is going to be a pain to play on because there's going to be so many stage hazards because of the summons.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, like I can't say too much about the stage design because I'm not so much of a big fan of Final Fantasy, but I can definitely imagine, for seasoned Final Fantasy players, it's nostalgia overload, basically.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be like a big deal for them. Oh my god, but yeah, like I say, that was like the elephant in the room. Just address that right away, get it out of the way. Everything else, it was more kind of stuff you would sort of expect. I'm kind of just going to work my way down and through, and sort of go through things a little bit. So, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD was finally announced. I say finally because, like, it wasn't a surprise to me when they announced it, because I had already heard, like, so many rumours starting, like, about a month ago that this was a thing that was going to exist. I don't know how to feel about it either. I'm a huge Zelda fan. Like, a huge Zelda fan. And I looked at the footage of Twilight Princess HD, and I was like, this doesn't look as good as I thought it would look in HD.
That was basically my first reaction as well, I have to say. Like after having something like the Wind Waker HD come out, and that just how amazing like that looked and how much they've worked on it. This for whatever reason just didn't seem like they put as much effort into it.
Yeah. I don't know why, and to be fair, like, they said when they were doing Wind Waker HD, they said, we tried this HD engine on other Zelda titles as well, like Twilight Princess, but we felt like it stood out the most in HD, in Wind Waker, because of its art style. And, like, you can tell, yes, it did work the best in Wind Waker, obviously, that's why you did Wind Waker. But now you're like, oh, we have this HD engine, and Twilight Princess and Wind Waker actually run on the same engine. Interestingly enough, even though the art style is completely different, they run on the same engine. Yeah, so, like, there's no reason not to do a Twilight Princess HD, so they've done it. And when you do compare it side by side to the Wii and GameCube footage of Twilight Princess, it is improved. It's drastically improved. Everything is more crisp. Like, everything is more crisp. Like, you look at, like, the Wii footage, and everything is kind of blurred, almost. Yeah. And very muddy. Even like the gameplay they showed when they were on like Hyrule Field and stuff was way brighter than it was in the original thing. Like the sky was more blue, the grass was more green, the textures were nice and not horrible, because they were really bad textures back on the Wii and the GameCube. Like, Twilight Princess, I've always said, is like my least favourite 3D Zelda game. I prefer it over some of the 2D games, but like it's my least favourite out of the 5 3D ones we've had. And I still enjoy the game thoroughly. Like, it's still really good. The thing is that this is the other thing, is that Wind Waker had like one major flaw, like one serious flaw to do with its like gameplay back on the GameCube, and that's that sailing took forever. and getting all the freaking Triforce pieces was a nuisance, because you had to spend so many rupees to decipher charts and then go and salvage it up from the seafloor, and they just replaced the charts with just getting the piece, because it was a trial enough to get the charts, let alone having to go and spend a ton of money on it.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously they fixed that in the HD remake, because that was something simple they could fix. The problems with Twilight Princess are more ingrained into the game. I don't think they can fix them like that. Like, I feel like they can't. Twilight Princess had a very big problem of formulaic design, where you would get an item, use the item for the dungeon, and never use the item again. Like...
Yeah, that sounds like something that would be quite hard to fix.
There was a huge problem with it for me, anyway. And I don't know if they're going to be able to fix that. I really don't. Because I don't know how they could fix it.
I mean, one thing they could do... I mean, it would take a lot of work to do this, what I'm about to say, but what they could do is, like, merge 2 or 3 tools together.
Yeah.
And just make the tool more expensive to buy, or something like that. But that would be a lot of work, and maybe they weren't prepared to do that much work.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. Like, it's a pretty, I don't know, it's a pretty interesting thing. Like, I don't know how to feel about this game coming out. It makes sense, and I will obviously get it. The coolest thing to come out of this was the Wolf Link amiibo. Oh my god. That's amazing.
That looks amazing, I have to say. That looks absolutely beautiful.
I really want the Wolf Link amiibo.
I think everyone wants one. Does anyone not want one? After looking at that, I mean, bloody hell.
It looks really cool. It's got, like, it's on, like, a bit of a stand and stuff, because it's got, like, the 2, like, pieces of rock or something that the wolf's standing on and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, this is what I like looking at it. Like, it's also... Basically, it's the only amiibo of Midna as well.
Actually, like, when I first looked at it, I get the pieces of rock and the wolf link. I didn't see the main amiibo stand.
Yeah.
So I actually thought it was like a double size amiibo or something like that. I was like, oh, it's so cool. And then I went back and watched it and was slightly disappointed. But it's still really cool.
The only amiibo that's bigger than the normal ones is the anniversary ones that they did for Super Mario Maker. Those are bigger than the normal ones, and obviously the yarn Yoshis, because they don't have a stand at all, they're made of yarn, but like they're the only ones that are really bigger than the normal ones. But no, yeah, that amiibo does look pretty sweet, and I am definitely looking forward to getting it.
And then we've got the transition to the new Zelda.
That's it, they did that at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, that transition was super cool.
It was a really neat transition of, like, Link riding on Epona in Twilight Princess, and it just sort of, like, transitioned to Link riding on Epona in the new Zelda game, which looks really cool. Like, you can... Oh my god, I can't wait for this new Zelda game. And the whole way...
That grass texture.
That grass. The freaking, like, the horse's mane and tail. Like, how they sort of, like, you know, were actually realistic, like, moving and stuff. And the whole way through that bit, I was just saying, give me a date, give me a date, give me a date, give me a date, give me a date. I just wanted to know when I was going to get to play this game. And it was just like, 2016. And I'm like, that means it's late 2016. It was originally supposed to come out this year. And it got pushed back. Like, a while ago, it got pushed back. And they were like, nope, not coming out this year anymore. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's that level of quality, I really don't mind.
Yeah, I understand why it was pushed back, and I think I know exactly why, and that's because the world is so big and expansive. It's, like, really neat, like, in that regard. Like, say, it's so big and expansive, but the main thing is that they hadn't filled the world with stuff. It was just going to be really empty. Like, yes, it's so huge, and you can go from here to there, but if there's nothing to do on the way, you're going to be bored.
Yeah, you don't want to land.
It's just going to be Wind Waker with a horse.
Wind Waker style, yeah.
You know, like, that's all it's going to be. And it was like, yeah, no, I kind of get it. I reckon that's, like, they haven't officially said that's why, but I have a very strong feeling that that's why, because the footage we did see of the game was very empty. Like,
although I do want to say that we've had the rumors about the Nintendo NX, the new console that they're planning to make at some point in the future.
Yes.
I have a problem with this new Zelda coming out so late, because I feel that whatever their new console is, it'll be coming out maybe not next year, but probably the year after that, I reckon.
Yeah.
And like one of the problems that the Wii U had when it launched was there was not really any kind of big blockbuster title. Like, it took, I don't know, a year or 18 months for Mario Kart 8 to come out or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was nothing there at launch. And, I mean, maybe they're doing something with Zelda U where they're launching it simultaneously on Wii U and the new console.
I don't know enough about the NX to know exactly what it is.
To be fair, no one knows much
no
about
one knows
it.
anything about it. Like,
But
I don't know whether the
there
NX is going to be... I don't know whether it's going to be like a complete new system, or whether it's going to be more akin to what the new 3DS is to the 3DS, but for the Wii U.
I'm not sure.
That's what I'm not sure about. That's like what I'm really uncertain about. But they may do the same as they did with Twilight Princess when that came out. When that came out on the GameCube, and then they also released it for the Wii. With slightly upgraded, obviously, controls and stuff to work with the Wii. So, like, they may do something like that with it. Skyward Sword came out a year before the Wii U did. Came out at the very end of the Wii's life cycle. And was, to most people, is what, like, the true Wii's Zelda title was. Because, obviously, Twilight Princess was on the GameCube, technically. And like when it was put onto the Wii, you could tell it was designed for the GameCube because it kept all the same textures from the GameCube. It didn't like improve anything like graphically or anything. And yeah, like Skyward Sword obviously was like the true Wii Zelda game, but it came out right at the end of the Wii's life because it was 2011 when that came out, and the Wii U came out 2012, and it would like say they were both at the end of the year for both of them. So,
and the thing is, but like. It annoys me because they could have ported it over. Like, I've read reports where people have emulated Skyward Sword on like Dolphin or something, and it's got proper HD textures in it.
Yeah.
So they could have just ported it to the Wii U, and like the Wii controllers are completely compatible as well. Mm-hmm. Like, there would have been no problem. Like, they can run native Wii games because it's fully backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Just release it.
Why haven't you? And like, that's the kind of thing with it, really, that does me in. I kind of get why they may not have released Skyward Sword, because you would have to use a Wiimote, and obviously the Wii U's all about using that gamepad, and it's like, well, if you want to use a Wiimote anyway, just freaking go buy it on the Wii and play it on the Wii U, because it's backwards compatible. Like, so I kind of get why they may not have released it like officially as like a Wii U thing, because Skyward Sword doesn't work without motion controls. Like, the game just isn't a game without it. So it's kind of like a necessity. But like the fact that obviously this new Zelda game is like going to come out on the Wii U is like definitely a Wii U game, because I thought, because it had been pushed back so far, I thought they decided, no, we're not doing it on the Wii U, we're going to make it a launch for the NX. I honestly thought that's what had happened. I was
thinking that as well
when it got pushed back that far. But they still said it's coming out on the Wii U, so it's coming out 2016, and obviously we have no idea when the NX is actually going to come out. I predict it's going to come out probably, I think we're going to hear about it in 2016, and it'll come out 2017, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it came out, well, like the Wii U came out like 2012, so 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, yeah, that's like 5 years. That's a decent length of time for a console life at that point. So if it is a new console, I reckon that's when we'll hear about it. That's my predictions there. Anyway, let's move on to the next point.
What do you want to move on to next?
Yeah, there are a few like bits and pieces. So like there was the Splatoon announcements for new Splatoon stuff, which I'm excited for. I burnt myself out on Splatoon a little bit recently. I was playing it a lot, like a lot, and I kind of just burnt myself out on it. I was like, nah, I'm done with Splatoon for a while. But this stuff that they've shown looks really neat.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like how they're... Like, this is really the first game they're doing this kind of... I don't know how to describe, like, a living video game. Like, they just keep putting out new content every few weeks.
Yes.
And I really, really like that. That's very, very cool.
They do, and it is really cool that they keep adding more and more content to this game. Like, there's constantly new updates being added to it, like new maps and new gear and new weapons and stuff. Like, it's really neat. And like I said, they keep doing like balance changes and stuff like that in it as well, to like rebalance things when things get uneven and stuff. And things, I don't know, it's just a really neat game. I really love the fact they're putting this much time and effort into this game, because it's a lot of fun to play. Like, I wouldn't have played it anywhere near as long as I have done if they hadn't have added more stuff to it. Because when it first came...
they have confirmed that they're going to be rolling out updates until at least January. So
at least January, that's what they said, which is neat. And to be fair, like, say at this point, like if you bought Splatoon originally, people were sort of complaining that it didn't feel like a complete game. I reckon now if you bought it, it would feel way more like a complete game.
Yeah, definitely.
Than it did originally, because there's so much more content now from when it first came out. Like, there's no reason to really complain. The only thing I would complain about, I don't know if they've changed this because I haven't played it in a little while, is to allow you to play more than a couple of stages at a time. That's really what I want. And they've sort of fixed that if you're playing with friends. Because if you're playing with people, like, on your friends list and stuff, you can just, like, select whatever stage you want to play on. Sort of thing.
I feel like they could have done something... They could have done... Yeah, I feel like they could have done something similar to like the Mario Kart 8 choosing the next track, voting on the next track thing. I feel like they could have done something similar to that, like, because if I remember correctly, they don't give you a list of all the tracks to choose. You have a small subset of tracks to choose from.
They give you like 4 tracks to choose from, and you select which one you want to vote for, and then the other like 8 people vote on the one they want to go for.
Yeah, I think that would be a much cooler system.
Yes, I also kind of agree. The thing is that, like, say, originally there wasn't that many things on Splatoon. Now there's a lot more maps. I don't know how many maps there are in total. But, like, originally there was only a few maps on Splatoon. So that's part of the reason why they limited it. It was like, you'll get randomly chosen between 2 maps if you're playing. Like, on each mode. Each mode has a different set of 2 maps that you'll be selected from. But, like, that's what you'll get. And then, obviously, like, I can't remember whether it was like every like few hours they'd change it. I wouldn't mind it like being between like 2 maps all the time, as long as like it changed more frequently or something, because it just kind of bums you out. You sit there playing for like, 3 or 4 hours and the maps don't change. Like, and it's the same 2 maps you're playing on over and over again, and it's like, why can't I play on more? Like, at least give me, like, now you've added more maps, give me like 3 or 4 maps to pick from. Like randomly decide for it between, sort of thing. Like,
yeah, it's almost like playing the same Smash level over and over again. Like, you want to
mix it up.
Different. Yeah,
yeah. That's my only real niggle with Splatoon in general. I hope they add that in some sort of update or patch or something later on. But like, the new content they've released looks really cool. The new stages look kind of neat. I honestly will probably end up playing them at some point soon. At some point,
yeah.
Like,
I'm hoping the reducing water level stage.
I'm hoping,
I can't remember the name of the level. That seems really interesting.
I'm hoping it's not too like trolly, because you die if you touch water, and obviously there are a lot of like floating platforms and stuff. And I feel like you're gonna have to get really good at doing your jumping to go between them. Yeah, I agree. You're going to have to get really good at doing that. Otherwise, you're just going to die repeatedly on that stage. So I hope it's not too trolly with that. But like, beyond that, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that one. Seems like it could be fun.
Can I rant about Mario Maker for a while?
You can. That's fine.
This annoys me so much. So, for those of you who don't know, they've put in they've made a search engine so you can search through all the levels and find things easier and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just put it in the game?
That is
why do they have to make it a web page?
That is my exact thing as well. Like, why does it have to be a web page? Like, a web page is cool. Why can't it be both? Like, why does it have to be a web page? Why can't you have that same feature in the game as well as being a web page? I get what they said about the web page. Like, if you're out and about somewhere, you can add it to your, like, I need to play this. You know, someone says, hey, have you played this great Mario Maker stage? Or you see it on, like, a live stream or something or whatever. You can, like, go and record the stage and be like, yeah, like, search for that stage, save it to my list of saves kind of thing, and I can go back and play it later on. Why isn't that functionality in Mario Maker? Why is it so hard to find games in Mario Maker?
Yeah, I mean, the mobile app is definitely the best part of the search functionality, but even still, like, that wouldn't... They could have just made the app and then put it in the game as well. Yeah. Like, there's still no need to have a desktop application or a desktop web page that you have to scroll through.
By the looks of it, because I've got it open, I'm just basically replaying the sections that we're talking about, sort of thing, over and over, like on mute. But like, it looks like on one of the shots they show of like the in-game stuff, it shows a link to the web portal in-game. So I'm wondering whether that opens a browser on your Wii U to it. And that's how they've kind of got around it. So you can still do it without having to like have a computer nearby, because you can do it on the Wii U. But at the same time, like, why couldn't they have just added this feature in-game? Like, I get, obviously, you know, may not have been there from the get-go, although it probably should have been, because, you know, like, they don't always think of these things. This is kind of a new thing for them, doing this. So, like, fair enough. You're always going to have little bits of flaws and stuff like that and new things. But, like, I don't know. Now that they knew it was a flaw and they haven't really fixed it, I mean, maybe they're working on it, and they've just done this to, like, tide us over until then. I don't know.
Yeah, I have to disagree with the fact that you said that they maybe didn't realise that they had to make a decent search engine. But for a game like Mario Maker, the parallels between that and something like Little Big Planet, they're so easy to see for anyone, right? And the fact that, like, it didn't cross their heads that, you know, they're going to be, if it takes off, there's going to be a ton of levels.
Yeah.
Surely we need, like, you know, type in the bloody 16-digit code
just to,
just to play, like, a 5-minute level. Like, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
I have to,
No, I do agree. Mario Maker does bug me with stuff like that. Although, like I say, Mario Maker itself is a great idea. I'm so glad they've added checkpoints in. The game really needed them. Oh my god. Because you could make some really long levels. And, like, if you died, you'd have to do the whole thing again. And some of them were, like, puzzle-type levels or mazes and stuff like that. Like, really infuriating things. You'd die because of one simple mistake, and you have to do the whole thing again. It was so tedious. And, like, that was a huge bug for me. Like, I hated that. It really turned me off playing, like, games. And it really turned me off playing, like, some of the, like, hard-rated levels. Because sometimes you'd get ones that were, like, just a legit challenge. But sometimes you'd get ones that were just long. Like, they weren't overly difficult. They were just long, and you'd die, and then you'd not want to do the whole thing again. So you'd skip it.
And the mistake you make isn't your fault. It's just you misclick or something.
It's just like, it's not even really like anything that you've done that's majorly a mistake. It's just, obviously, you know, one slip up, you died. Oh well, I guess I'll go back and replay the whole thing again. And, like, yeah, it's, I don't know. Like I say, really needed those checkpoints. I'm glad they've been added. I kind of want to wait before playing the game a little bit more, though, until more stages have been implemented with them. Because, obviously, they had so many stages on there that didn't have checkpoints. And now checkpoints have been added, so now you've got to wait for the stages with checkpoints to start filtering through. So you're actually getting more of them come through.
While we're talking about Mario Maker, I want to add one little thing of... There should be a system where you can make your own, like your own set of levels. Like you can have world 1-1 and 1-2 and 1-3, and you can have a block of levels that you could just go through one at a time, and it feels like an adventure.
Yeah.
And like I think that's something you could do with Little Big Planet 2. I'm not sure, I haven't played Little Big Planet 3, but I'm assuming it's there as well.
Probably.
Where you finish a level and it kind of teleports you into the next stage automatically, and you can have this huge, like, amazing level and a cool story.
Yes.
And you just can't do that at the moment.
You can't do that. I really kind of wish you could. I also kind of wish you could do... I don't know. There's like... Sometimes the game just feels a little bit limiting from what you actually want to do. Like, I've seen people like, oh, wow, can I do this? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, I don't know, the game feels limiting in some ways. Not allowing you, like... Because it's like, you can only have, like, one sub-world that you're doing things in. Like, I was trying to recreate a level from Zelda 2 in Mario Maker and have it all make complete sense. And it was like, yeah, you get this P-switch and that kind of acts like a key because it turns the blocks that are acting as the door into coins. So you can use that as a key to get through and, you know, stuff like that. And I was doing all of that, and then I hit a block limit and I was like, oh no, I've hit a block limit. I can't put any more down. Then I was like, okay, well, what if we do it this way then? That probably won't use as many blocks, so we'll do that. I found a way around that, and it was like, oh no, now I've hit a size limit, I can't extend the stage any further, and I've already used both sub-levels. Dang, I guess that's as good as I can get. Like, I don't know, it really kind of bugged me. And that's kind of my thing. Like, I really wish you could do a little bit more with it, only a little bit more. But it's nowhere near on the sort of depth and stuff that you can get on other, like, if you were to do like a Mario ROM hack or something. It's nowhere near the sort of level of detail and creativity you could get with one of those. Like, I've seen Kaizo 1, 2, and 3 be played. Those are insane. Like, yeah. They're pretty intense, and the creativity in some of those levels is like incredible, and stuff. So I kind of wish you could get a little bit more of that in there, but like, not to knock on it too much, because to be fair, it is a really cool thing and I love what they have done with it thus far, so I'm just hoping for more. That's really all it is. Okay, that's enough of Mario Maker, because there really wasn't anything they really announced there. It was literally hey, Mario Maker's still a thing. And we've just spent like ages talking about it.
Yeah.
What was next on the thing? Oh, I completely skipped past Mario and Luigi Paper Jam.
Yes, this looks really cool. The papercraft battles they showed kind of towards the end of the trailer, that is very, very interesting.
It does look interesting. Have you played like any of the like Mario and Luigi games or the Paper Mario games?
I haven't. No, I really want to play the Paper Mario games because the art style just really calls out to me.
Yes.
But unfortunately, I haven't got around to it just yet.
Yeah. The thing with these RPGs is that they have a lot of heart, and they are like very humorous. Like both Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi series, they both have their own kind of brand of humor, but they're both like incredibly funny, and stuff. And a lot of their attacks are like timing based and stuff like that as well, to make it kind of more of an action RPG type thing.
All right. Okay.
So it's really neat. I've played like 2 of the Paper Mario games. I think I played the N64 one, although I don't think I beat the N64 one. I played it. And the Wii Paper Mario, I think it's Super Paper Mario, I think that was called, on the Wii. And that one was also pretty neat. And then for Mario and Luigi, I've played the first one, which is Superstar Saga. I've played Partners in Time, and that's it, I think. I haven't played any of the more recent ones in the Mario and Luigi series. But yeah, like seeing these guys like work together, I can't wait for it. I can't wait to see the interactions. I really can't. I think it's going to be really fun and entertaining to see them in action. Yeah, definitely. And it comes out December 4th. Like, we don't have that long to wait either. Like,
yeah, should be good.
It's really not that far away. So I'm eagerly looking forward to that. It's like 3 weeks away from now. So, like, I'm looking forward to it. I hope that it's good. Like, I've heard good things about the recent Mario and Luigi games. Paper Mario, not quite so good things about recently, but this is more of a Mario and Luigi than a Paper Mario game. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, like, I'm eagerly waiting this, definitely. I'm guessing you don't have much more to say about it. So,
not really.
So
but,
we'll move on.
Yeah.
What else is coming in?
The next thing they talked about was Xenoblade Chronicles.
Xenoblade Chronicles. Eagerly waiting this one. This also comes out December 4th, which is in 3 weeks' time, and it's gonna be good. I really I don't have much to say about it. Like, I've played Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, and I haven't beaten it. I've played it, haven't beaten it. Have no idea what, like, I don't even know if I'm halfway through the game. I feel like I've played for hours. I don't even know if I'm halfway through. But I know nothing about the latter part of the game at all. What I've played of it thus far was really good. Just me and JRPGs sometimes don't mesh that well because they take so much time up. And you can play for hours and hours and feel like you've made no progress sometimes. And that's kind of how Xenoblade feels for me sometimes. And I may pick it up again at some point and play through it, because I do want to beat it, because I've heard the story is really good. And thus far the story's been pretty good, to be fair. And I do want to beat it, but I haven't felt the urge to play it again. And with X, it looks very pretty. Very pretty. Like, compared to, obviously I'm comparing it to the Wii graphics of Xenoblade Chronicles, but, like, this looks, like, obviously HD and nice and pretty good. The gameplay they've showed off thus far, like, of, like, the plot and stuff, seems kind of interesting, with, like, Earth being, like, destroyed and everyone going on colony ships and flying away to other planets or something. I think that's what's going on. So, like, that seems interesting. I want to know a little bit more about that. So this game, I know, is going to be a good game. I just don't know whether I'm going to necessarily get it straight away, because I haven't played the first one through yet.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
I just want to, like, and this is putting my cynical hat back on. This, like, I admit everything looked very pretty, and it's hopefully, I hope it's a good game, of course.
Yeah.
But there's, I think, like, watching E3 and all these various things for a few years now, the fact that there was so little actual gameplay footage in this trailer just didn't get me hype. Like, there was a lot of cutscenes and not much. Like, for me, gameplay is what gets me hype, and this just, it didn't have that.
Yeah, well, there was some gameplay stuff. There was some cutscene stuff. Like, the thing is, in all the previous, like, Xenoblade X stuff, it's either been, like, all, it's either been, like, all cutscene or all gameplay, pretty much. This one had kind of, like, a bit of a combination of both, because it did show some gameplay. Oh yeah, there was the bit where, like, he turned into a giant mech. He was, like, driving around some sort of car, and it turned into a mech. And I was like, oh my god, that sounds awesome.
That looked very nice.
I want to get involved in whatever that is. Yeah, it's got a nice Xenoblade feel to it, but I want to know more about it. I think that's the other thing, because I kind of want to know a little bit more about it. There's, like, they're staying very secretive on the plot, and I know why, because the plot's going to be intense. I know it's going to be intense. But yeah, like, that was the thing there. I think the next thing they sort of covered was, like, just some of the, like, new titles that were coming out. So they did, like, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, Mario Ultra Smash, and was it Style Boutique, which I have no interest in whatsoever, but that's a thing. Like, I'm not bothered about any of these games. I'm getting Amiibo Festival, Like, I've already pre-ordered it purely because it came with all of the Animal Crossing amiibos, and I was like, yep, I'll get that, sure.
Yeah.
So, because I like all the Animal Crossing amiibos, I think they look adorable, because I like Animal Crossing in general, but I'm not too worried about the game.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about these things. Mario Tennis looks pretty cool,
Mario Tennis looks...
but it's not going to overtake Smash or Mario Kart for a couch game.
No, it's not. It's really not. It'll be fun to play every so often, but it's, I don't know. Like, I'm not too worried about it. I haven't really played too many of the sport Mario games, like the tennis and the golf games, and I think the most interesting one was like Super Strikers, the soccer one or football one they did a little while back. Like, that was a really fun game, apparently, like really good. But they haven't really like touched the series since, really, so I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, like, I haven't really got much else to say about that at all, really. The next thing, however, I do, Fast Racing Neo.
Well, I was going to say, before we move on to this, can I just talk about Ed for a minute?
Yeah.
Because this annoys me somewhat. I can't say for you, but I felt that he was trying to like emulate Shibata a little bit.
Yes.
Like, just kind of his body posture and the way he was talking, it felt kind of forced to me.
Yes.
And like, obviously I can see that he can't talk quickly because it's for European viewers as well.
Yes.
But I don't know, it just struck out to me like he kind of was standing like a pencil almost.
Yeah, he was. He was. I get the impression he was like really nervous about speaking. Maybe he's not really much of a public speaker. I don't know, and that may have been the case there, and that's fine. I understand it. You're talking to like every European fan of Nintendo. Like,
Yeah,
that's a lot of people,
pressure, yeah.
a lot of pressure to put on you. So I kind of get that. My main bug with him is a little bit later on, and I'll talk about it when we get to it. Like, one of the little bits he talks about later on really bugged me over and over again. But like I said, we'll get to that. The first thing he came on to talk about was Fast Racing Neo, and
Yes!
that I can't wait for. I am really hyped for that game.
I am so hyped for this.
I hope it's the F-Zero game we've been waiting for. That's not F-Zero.
Yeah.
Like, it looks so much like F-Zero. Like, so much like F-Zero. And it looks really fun. I honestly think it's going to be a lot of fun to play. And I hope they don't like get offended and stuff by me saying it looks like F-Zero, because they may, they're probably trying to keep their own individuality and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
But like, going super fast hover cars is F-Zero. Like, that's what it is. Like, futuristic hover car super fast racing, like, that's what it is, and that's kind of what these are. So it's gonna feel familiar. Also, that it's coming out on a Nintendo console is kind of why a lot of people are drawing that comparison. But like, the game itself does look fun. It looks like a lot of fun. I honestly can't wait to play it. I can't wait to play it with like you and Mark and other people I know that like racing games. It has like 4-player co-op, not co-op, like 4-player versus
split screen
versus.
But also,
So,
I'm not sure if they actually showed this off, but from what I gathered, they might even have split screen online play, like how Mario Kart does.
I hope they do, and if they do, I hope they do more than 2 players.
Yeah, I mean,
because that kind of bummed me out with Mario
this is
Kart.
going to be amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be pretty sweet. But it looks like they do like 8-player multiplayer online battles,
Yes,
and then
yeah,
it's like
8-player,
4-player local. So hopefully, like say, we'll be able to like have 4 people on system, 4 people on other system or something. That'd be pretty. That would
Also, why didn't they just give the F-Zero license to Shinem?
I know. I really wish they had done. I really wish Nintendo had like looked at this,
well.
because Nintendo had been promoting this game a lot, right? like it was shown at E3, although it wasn't shown in the main presentation, which really bummed me because E3's presentation was really lacking anything substantial, in my opinion, back then. But that's another rant. And they showed this like on a random live stream for like a section, and I'm like, this looks better than most of the things you showed at E3. Why have you not shown this in your presentation? That was like my thing. But they did show it at E3. They've shown it in Nintendo Direct since. Actually, has there been a Nintendo Direct since E3? There must have been. I know they've shown this at least one time since E3. At some point. And like now they're showing it again. So Nintendo do seem to like this game. They seem to appreciate it. They've shown it off a few times. And like I just really wish they would have just given them the F-Zero license. Now, the only reason I can think they wouldn't give them the F-Zero license is that they're secretly working on an F-Zero game behind the scenes. Maybe they didn't give them the license because that's my dream anyway.
That'd be pretty awesome. I agree.
But yeah, like that's the first thing they showed, and it looked really sweet. Really looking forward to it. Did they give us a date for that? I don't know. They just said December, so it's coming soon as well. Like, it's coming next month at some point. They didn't give us a specific date in December, though, which scares me, because that means it might get pushed back. But they did say December, so let's hope. Let's hope a little bit that that's going to come out soon.
Yeah, it should be.
Because I think that'd be a lot of fun to play. The next thing I have a note on isn't the next thing they mentioned. What did they go between then?
They went to Typoman next.
Typoman. Oh yeah, that little indie game where you use the word to modify the world.
Yes, this is a very cute little interesting platformer.
It is. It's a little bit neat. I kind of like the look of it. I reckon it could be a fun like indie title. I can't say much more than that. I think it's very unique the way that they're using like letters and words and stuff on the gamepad to control things in the world. But I can also see that getting like really annoying, like really annoying, because of like I don't know, like you have to know how to spell things like properly, and you have to know what to spell to affect the world properly. Like, and I can just imagine that getting really infuriating for me. Like, that's just me personally. Spelling is not my strongest point, and like having to think of the word to use to do the thing, I just know I'm not going to be good at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good concept, but I think it's one of these things where it's very easy to screw up.
Yes,
it's very easy to two counterexamples. When they changed rain to drain, that transition was very cool.
Yes.
And that showed me like the potential for this.
Yes.
But at the same time, when they were just slightly before this, they were showing the word. They were rearranging Donu to down.
Yeah.
And I felt that was a little patronizing.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things where it's a very fine line between getting it right and just utterly failing. I
mean, that may have been like a simple one. This is probably one of the more simple puzzles in the game, I would imagine, the anagram one. But I feel like maybe there are like more difficult anagrams that may have multiple outcomes, and one of them could mess you up, and the other one could like be good, like actually do what you want it to do. Maybe something like that will happen. Like say, I don't know really what to make of it. What else did they show? SteamWorld Heist. I know nothing about this game, and I'm not even. I
don't really have much to say about this, to be honest.
Not even bothered about it, so we're gonna kind of skip past it. There was another SteamWorld game. I didn't play that either. So
shall we skip to the Pokemon port?
Pokemon. Now that's where I wanted to talk about, because the guy pronounced Pokemon weird. Like, we all say Pokemon, right? That's how we say it. It's Pokemon. He was like Pokemon, and I get it because that's probably closer to how it should be sound in Japanese.
Yeah, it probably is,
because it's pocket monsters, so Pokemon. But every time he said that, it bugged the hell out of me. I was like, no, it's Pokemon. It's not Pokemon. It's Pokemon. That's how we say it in the West. Say it properly. It bugged me so much. And there was so much Pokemon stuff he ran through. And I was like, stop it. Please, stop talking about it.
Every time you say it was a little tiny cut.
Yeah. I was like, no, stop it. The first thing they talked about was Pokemon Picross. Which is like a neat little puzzle game where it kind of reminds me of like Sudoku type games where you have like you'll get like a bunch of numbers at the end of like a row and a column, and it'll say how many squares need to be filled in that row or / column sort of thing. So like one of the ones they showed here was like the top row has 4 ones, and therefore you know it has 4 occasions of like a 1 block thing to colour in. And like then you've got like a downward one where it has like a 2 and a 3, so you know that there's a 2 block colour in and a 3 block colour in somewhere on the vertical line. It's an interesting puzzle game. I quite like Picross. The bit I played of it like ages ago, I remember enjoying it. It was kind of neat. And I think it's kind of neat to see them do it with like Pokemon sprites. I think that's kind of cool. It is just a little game, but I just wanted to make note of it because I think it's going to be fun to play. I think it's one that I definitely recommend for people that are looking to have just a simple little puzzle game type thing to play while you're out on the go. Because obviously on the 3DS, so you can while you're traveling somewhere on a bus or something, just play some Picross. Catch some mons. But yeah, like that's really all I have to say about that. It just seems kind of neat that they're doing that with that. But the big Pokemon news is
they're going to be porting Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow over to the 3DS.
Which it's about time, really. Oh my word! Why haven't they done this sooner? And I know why they haven't done it sooner. Like, the reason they haven't done it sooner is because they've actually kept the link functionality in. And I imagine that may have taken some working out to do.
I can imagine that being a bit tricky.
Because they've had to obviously get that to work with the 3DS systems, to do wireless linking up. So I imagine that probably took a little bit of configuring, and that's probably what put them off doing it. Because they didn't want to put the games in there without having that functionality in there. But it's about time they stuck it on there. I've been saying for a while that there's no reason like why they couldn't put it on there. Like, everyone would have been happy if they didn't have the link functionality in there. It would have been kind of a bit of a bummer when you got those Pokemon that required to trade evolve and stuff, but like, it was still neat that they existed, like if they were on there. That's all we really wanted from it. So that's a thing. I'm so glad they've put it in there, because there are so many guys now, like people that are fans of Pokemon now, that weren't even like born or around when like Pokemon first came out. When like
this is crazy to me. Like, we remember playing this when we were kids.
Yeah,
and just to think that like people's first experience of Pokemon could be like, I don't know, like Ruby or Black and White or something like that.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Like, it's kind of nuts. Like, when did Pokemon come out? It came out like
96 in Japan and 98 in America and Europe.
It? So what's that? That's many years ago by this point. There's like 17 years ago. 17 years ago. Oh, sorry, I'm bad with maths. 17 years ago. Like, that means there are technically people that are currently like learning to drive that could have never played the original Pokemon games.
Oh, this makes me feel so old.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely crazy that could even be possible, but it is. It's absolutely nuts to me. But like, yeah, it's really neat that it's on there. Finally. Like, there's not much I can say about it. It's Pokemon. You all know Pokemon, right? Like, go and play it. Have fun. Experience the wonders that we all experienced when we were young. That's really all I have to say about it. It's just really good stuff. I'm going to keep with the Pokemon theme and skip a little bit, because the other Pokemon news that was announced was Pokken Tournament.
Pokken Tournament, yeah.
Now this looks nice. Like, visually, this looks really nice. Like, I am looking forward to this game. To be fair, I quite look forward to seeing like how it's actually going to play, like actually playing it myself. I'm not always that big into fighters, like I'm not, but I would be curious to try and learn this one because it's Pokemon. There also seems to be some kind of weird story thing going on. Like there was the Shadow Mewtwo that they showed, which seemed kind of neat, but then they also like flashed to some like anime girl like thing, and it's almost like Mewtwo was an anime girl or something, like in a hood, like wearing a hood or something, and like Lucario was running around, and he like they did like a little splash thing where it showed like an anime guy just running, like, and it's almost like maybe they're being controlled, or maybe they're the trainers of those mon or something. I don't know the story behind this at all.
I think that,
but I want to know,
because it's made by the same guy that made Tekken, isn't it?
Yes.
And the Tekken storylines are very strange. Like, I'm a big fan of Tekken.
Okay.
And I think in a way, I kind of like that they're trying to put a weird storyline into it, rather than just having Pokemon fighting.
Yeah, like that's
like Smash.
That's the thing. Like, if I wanted Pokemon just to fight each other for no reason, I'd play Pokemon. No, yeah, like, if I wanted Pokemon just to fight each other, then you've got, like, Smash for that, with the mons that are in there and things. Like, I'm interested to see the story of this. Like, very interested to see the story of this and see where it's going. Because, oh my word, it looks like it could be interesting. It really does. I just want to know. Just want to know things.
I mean, you did point on something quite interesting to me, which is that you don't play a lot of fighting games.
I don't.
And I think a big factor in the success of this game is having a good tutorial.
Yes.
Like, not one that's in your face, obviously, but just a well thought out, clean tutorial.
Yes.
Just because I think most of the people who play Pokemon are people like you who maybe don't have as much experience with fighting games.
That is true.
So I think like that could turn off a lot of people if they're maybe a bit apprehensive of learning a fighting game.
Yeah, like I agree. Because like I say, I don't play fighting games. I don't really play anything like Street Fighter or Tekken or anything like that. It's not my thing. The only fighting game I play is Smash, which is a very different fighter from any other type of fighting game.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, yeah, absolutely. I would appreciate some kind of like tutorial type thing or whatever, as long as there's like some sort of easy mode to play through so you can learn the ropes a bit before you get thrust into like these crazy battles. Because like every time I play a fighting game, I'm normally playing against someone else because it's like they own the game, so we play multiplayer and they just wreck me every time, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's just not fun at that point. Like,
it's not.
I feel the same way when I'm playing Smash, 'cause I don't play a lot of Smash.
Yeah.
And I feel like you get chucked into a map, and yes, the controls of Smash are simple, but there is a lot of depth there.
There's a lot of depth in it. It's part of the reason, like, obviously, that's why whenever I play Smash, I'd rather play with, like, multiple people. It's like, yes, I know what I'm doing on that, but I'll play with, like, 3 other people, and those 3 other people don't know what they're doing, so at least they're all on the same level, kind of thing. It's not quite so bad. That's kind of the deal with that. What else? What else was there? But yeah, like that's pretty much all I got to say about Pokken. It was pretty neat. Starfox Zero was after Pokken, but we skipped some things, didn't we? What was it?
There was the Final Fantasy Explorers, yeah.
And yeah, so Final Fantasy Explorers, or as I call it, Chibi Fantasy. Because like it's all like in a chibi art style and adorable and cute. This looks like it could be fun. I'm just not sure how fun it will be for someone that doesn't play Final Fantasy. I feel like
That's
it's
true.
going to have, like, way too many references to Final Fantasy games that I've never played. Like, because I haven't played Final Fantasy games that much at all. Sort of thing. So I'm going to know very little about any of the stuff to do with Final Fantasy related things. But I feel like if you are a fan of any Final Fantasy games, you're probably going to enjoy this. A fair amount as well. Like, I don't know, it looks like it could be a lot of fun to play. That's really all I have to say about it. Like, it looks neat, it looks fun. I'm just not sure whether it's for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I do like that they're also... one of the announcements for this game was all the previous DLC released in Japan, you get for free.
Yes, because it's already out in Japan, I think.
Yeah, and that is huge. Like, for people who like Final Fantasy, they'll be like, oh, you get all this free DLC, and it's all, like, given to you.
Yeah.
And that is very cool. Lots of kudos for that.
Shh. Professionalism. Yeah, so like I say, that's Final Fantasy. It's neat. I mean Cloud's now on the system. So that's a thing. Because, like, he's in that game. Like, you can use Cloud in it. He's on a Nintendo platform. I think beyond that, the only other Nintendo platform he's been in was, like, Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm, which is a rhythm game based on Final Fantasy songs.
Do you reckon we'll get... Now we've got Cloud in Smash, do you reckon we'll get a Cloud amiibo?
Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. So the next thing to talk about was the Mega Man collection, Mega Man 1 to 6.
Yes. It's pretty neat. The Mega Man games are solid games. They are also incredibly hard.
Yes.
Incredibly hard. I have played through Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2. Have I played through Mega Man 3? I feel like I started Mega Man 3, but I don't know if I finished it. No, I think I did finish Mega Man 3. I didn't bother with 4. I stopped then. 3 was hard. I didn't want to carry on. Like 1 was solid, 2 was easier, and 3 was just insanely difficult. And I was like, no, I'm stopping. I'm done. I've had my Mega Man fix. I'm okay with this now. So, like, obviously they're doing Mega Man 1 through 6. My warning to people is that the games are hard. They are really difficult games. If you are not used to playing older 8-bit platformers, you are going to have issues. Let's put it that way. They are absolutely solid games, but it's really neat that they're putting together in a Legacy collection. I think it's on the 3DS, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, which is pretty neat. Kind of a shame it's not on the Wii U as well. There's no reason why they couldn't have done it on the Wii U as well, because I'm pretty certain, like, most of the Mega Man games you can actually buy, like, on the Virtual Console as it is anyway. So there's no reason why they couldn't have done it on the Wii U, but whatever. I suppose they just want people to buy the Virtual Console
money.
things. Yeah, I suppose they just want them to buy all the individual Virtual Console things. But it would have been neat to have it as, like, a pack that you could just have and just buy, and then you have all of them. The one thing they mentioned is this is going to be compatible with the Mega Man Amiibo. Now, in America, they get a gold-plated Mega Man Amiibo.
What?
We don't get a gold-plated Mega Man Amiibo.
I didn't know this was a thing. Was this revealed in the
This was in the US one.
Conference?
I was really miffed when I realised that, because Americans were the only ones to get the gold Mario Amiibo as well. We didn't get that.
I didn't even know we got a gold Mario Amiibo.
Yep, they got a gold Mario Amiibo. Like, that was ages ago when they came out with, like, Mario Party, and they had the Mario Amiibos to go with it. Like, there was a golden one for Mario. And that was, like, a US thing.
Where's the European love, Nintendo? Come on.
That's what I want to know. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Why do we not get a gold Mega Man? I want a gold Mega Man. I'm gonna have to go and import it from America, which is gonna be hard because American amiibos always sell out really quickly. They do. Like, it's not so bad over here because, like our main retailer Game, they don't import or export amiibos. They will only sell them to UK customers. So now we pretty much can get any amiibo we want. We don't have to worry about it. There's no push for it. Because the main reason there was such a like shortage and a rush before was because Game was selling all of their amiibos to American audiences because the American market was so messed up.
Well, yeah, because they were having like some. I remember they having like some strikes around the docks when they were importing them.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the reasons why they had a shortage.
That may have been it as well. There may have been other things, but like after like the first like wave or two came out for like the Smash Bros one, like by wave 3 they had said no, we're not selling them to anyone outside the UK. And now like it pretty much you can get hold of any amiibo. Like you know the limited edition 8-bit Mario amiibo they did. You can still buy that from Game. They still have it on their website, but you can't. You can only buy it if you're a UK resident. So, like, you know, like you can get hold of pretty much whatever you want, and that's why it makes me sad. Because if they did a golden Mega Man over here, I'd be able to get it.
So awesome.
Because it's in America, I probably won't, or I'll have to pay stupid money to someone on eBay for it, which I don't want to do.
They did also, with the Mega Man Collection, show that they've made kind of like remix levels. You remember the Nintendo Remix pack they did?
Yes.
They've basically got something similar with Mega Man.
Yeah.
They've got some unique levels that they've made.
That looks interesting.
That is very cool.
Because that means
like
that even those people that were like diehard fans of the series have a reason to buy it. Because, like, it's like, well, I already own Mega Man 1 through 6 on my NES, and also I own the collection they did on the Xbox a while back, and I also like it's like, why do I need another collection? Don't need it. But because they're doing those remix levels, I think that's like, okay, well now I've got something new to play on it, so it's just another reason for people to buy it. It's pretty good. I think that's it with Mega Man though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's about it. Should we move on to Starfox?
Starfox.
Okay.
Starfox, I am sad you are not coming out this year. Really sad
Yes.
you're not coming out this year. You were supposed to be like the big holiday title. It was supposed to be the big holiday title. Without Starfox, they really don't have like any huge titles coming out. Like they don't have any of their big IPs coming out, like really for Christmas. They have no, they really don't. They have like say they have like this Amiibo festival thing with Animal Crossing, and they've got like Mario Tennis and stuff like that, but they don't have anything like substantial.
We had Smash last year for Christmas, and that was huge.
Last year,
they didn't have that.
Well, the thing is, last year, right? We had Smash, we had Pokemon X. Was it? No, it wasn't last year. Was it last year? Maybe the year before. I think it was the year before last year. But like when we had Smash come out, it was like we had Smash, we had Pokemon X and Y come out at the same time. Or was it? No, it was Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It was Smash and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That's what it was. Because I remember buying those like all in one go, and it was a lot of money to spend because I got the special editions of all three of them, and I got the DS one as well at the same time. So it was like, oh my god, it was ridiculous. It really
like 150, 200 quid for all these games.
Spending so much money on games at that particular point because everything came out at the same time, and like I wanted the special editions, and if you don't get the special editions at launch, you don't get the special editions. So it's like, yeah, they had a lot of stuff come out at the same time. It was really like big, and this year they just don't have that much at all. So, but hey, Starfox is still looking pretty good. Looks like it could be a lot of fun. I am a fan of Star Fox games, and by what I mean is I'm a fan of Star Fox 64. I'm a fan of Star Fox 64. I also played the DS Star Fox, which I think was Star Fox Command, which had similar kind of gameplay. The two GameCube titles I never played, and I don't know of any other Star Fox game. I didn't play the one on the SNES either. So, like, I'm trying to think of other Star Fox games, and I'm really struggling to think of any more. But, like, I've played two of them, and there were two that kind of had a similar feel in how they played, and they were both really good. And this one also looks really good, and a lot of fun. I'm a little scared from stuff I saw at E3, and they didn't show any of that here, so maybe they fixed that. No, it's still there. Okay, I'm watching it back, and it's like, no, it's still there. The cinematic viewpoints. I would, because like they have the thing where you can view the cockpit on the gamepad, which is neat. It's really neat. But you can look up at the TV screen and see like a nice big wide shot of everything that's going on, and like in like a third person view from the R-Wing. It's also really neat when you're doing like the rail shooter bit. When you get to the all-terrain bit, the camera just sort of focuses like on the middle section, and suddenly looking at the screen is not helpful at all, because it's like you have tank controls, because the camera's fixed, like looking at in a particular direction. That really, really bugs me, and I really wish it didn't do that, because now I have to, instead of looking at all the nice pretty stuff on the TV screen, I have to look at the gamepad. Because otherwise I can't accurately shoot anything.
Actually, I didn't really notice this, but I'm not like a seasoned Star Fox player. But
this is something that like I noticed, like analysing the gameplay a little bit, and it just, I don't know, it really bugged me, and I kind of hope there's a way to switch it off, but I don't think there is. Like, when I didn't notice it in this, like when they showed it this time, and I was thinking, oh, maybe they changed that then, so you don't have to have the cinematic viewpoint sort of thing. You can actually just play it like a normal Star Fox game. And then they were like, nope, it's still there. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. I will say that I do like the use of the gamepad for the cockpit view and all that, because
it's really neat when you want to be like more precise.
And when they were talking about like how you can use it, you can move it like physically around in your hands and aim at various things. Yeah. That strikes me very much as something for like veteran players, like people who you can shoot all these things, it's all easy, but then having this thing where you have to move around and look, that is very, very cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's really neat. Miyamoto said that that's what he wanted to focus on, is getting the gamepad functionality to work really well. Miyamoto's all about that gamepad all the time. He's a big fan of it. And yeah, like it's just looking like a really solid game. I'm just kind of sad it got delayed, and it got delayed because they were trying to put more gamepad functionality into it, which I'm hoping is worth it. Like, if I get a game and I feel like the gamepad functionality just isn't there and it isn't a big deal, then I'm going to be like really sad that they delayed it, because I'm going to be like, well, you really didn't need to do this, and you didn't get your holiday launch. Like, why? Like, that's really my only thing with that. To be fair, like, the game looks solid. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to get whatever special edition they come out with, because everyone knows I love buying special editions of games. Oh, dear me. Moving on. What did they talk
The next thing they really talked
about
was just the 3DS getting a crap ton of RPGs. So they had like Bravely Second, and all these other various RPGs that the 3DS is getting.
There is. The first thing they mentioned was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
This looks very cool.
I am a big fan of the Mystery Dungeon series. I've played Explorers of Time and Darkness. I've played those, and they were fun. And I haven't played a Mystery Dungeon game pretty much since those, but I've wanted to. I've just never felt like into it. But seeing Super Mystery Dungeon, I'm really into this. I really want to play this. What bums me out is that Super Mystery Dungeon comes out in America next week, and it comes out for us February 19th. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, there's no need. Like,
why? There's absolutely no need to delay it. Like, the footage they showed us is exactly the same footage they showed in the American one, I think. Like, it's already translated into English. Why can't we have it? And I think it may be to do with it's not been translated fully into other languages in Europe, which is possibly why we haven't got it. Which makes me sad, because it's like, why has it not been done yet? And I think maybe they're rushing it out in America because, like, well, being we've got the English bit done, that's all we need to get done. Let's just throw it out there because we need something to sell over Christmas. And Super Mystery Dungeon is a Pokemon game that will sell, so let's throw it out there. And I'm thinking maybe that's the only real reasons I can think of as to why it's come out beforehand. And obviously it's just not ready over here yet because of all the other translation languages they're going to need to sort out. But it does bum me out a little bit because it means, well, this is the worst thing about being a Nintendo fan, when America gets things before you do. And that's that everything gets spoiled about the game. And, like, I look up, like, Nintendo stuff all the time, and then everything gets spoiled about it.
And the thing is, they've been doing this for years as well. It's not just, like, once in a while kind of thing. It's a routine thing, and it's just annoying.
It's not so bad these days. Most of the things that come out these days come out at the same time, and sometimes they even come out at the same time as they do in Japan. Not every time. And generally it's RPGs that fall down on that front. Because of the amount of dialogue and text in it, and obviously the amount of time that's going to take to translate. And the Japanese are like, well, we've got it done and ready to go, so why are we waiting to sell it? Let's just sell it. Let's get it out there. But, like, even with, like, the most recent, like, Pokemon titles and stuff, they've been released at the same time worldwide. Like, everyone's got it at the same time. Or on the same date, not necessarily the same time, because obviously time zones. But, like, they've all been released at, like, say, on the same date. And a lot of things these days are being released on the same day, or if there's any difference between them, it's like a week. It's not like a big wait. This kind of bums me out that it's such a long wait, because it's not even, like I say, it's not even a small one. It's like, what, like 3 months, 3 or 4 months? Like, that's insane. Why do I have to wait, like, that long to get a game that I could already play perfectly fine? It's already done. I don't know. It just bums me out a little bit.
Yeah, it is frustrating.
The game itself looks good and solid and amazing, and I will buy it, and I will have a lot of fun on it. But like I say, just that little niggle with it there. But this was another one of the reasons why I wanted to check the American one before watching for like doing this, because I wanted to know information like this, like if something like this was happening, and turns out it is. The next thing they talked about was Hyrule Warriors Legends. Hyrule Warriors already exists on the Wii U. Hyrule Warriors is very fun on the Wii U. Hyrule Warriors Legends, I'm concerned that it's not going to be as good as the Wii U version because it's on the 3DS. So I feel like they're not going to be able to do as well, but they're releasing a ton of new characters for it. Like a ton of new characters. They've got Wind Waker characters in it now, which one in the original one on the Wii U. They have, and they're like the big reveal here was Linkle, which is like a female version of Link. What if Link was a girl? Yo,
but
look at this.
The thing I could think of when they released this was people are going to call Linkle Zelda.
Yes.
You can just tell it's going to happen.
Yes, they are. Yo, but she looks badass. Cool. She has dual crossbows and looks just sweet. I'm really, really looking forward to playing with her. The other thing they mentioned in previous things, didn't mention it here, but they mentioned in previous things that if you get the 3DS version, all the characters and stuff that are in it you unlock in the Wii U version. Like they're like crossover, but only if you buy the 3DS version. You can't get them otherwise. So it's to encourage people that have the Wii U version to buy the 3DS version, so they can have more content on the Wii U version if they want it. Otherwise, they can just have more content in general just by playing the 3DS version. Like, I like that fact because it means I'm actually get to play with these things in the way that I want to play with them. Because I wasn't 100%. I was like, I might get Hyrule Warriors Legends, I don't know whether I'm going to want to play that. I've poured so much time into Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U and still haven't beaten the game, because the game isn't designed to be beaten. Like, it's insane. And like, the 3DS one is, I don't know, I think it could be a decent enough game, but the fact that all the stuff that's going to be in the 3DS one is going to be over to the Wii U version if you buy the 3DS one means, yes, I'll buy the 3DS one because it gives me stuff on the Wii U to play the modes that I like to play on that. So that's really how I feel about that. But yeah, like, Hyrule Warriors Legends looks alright. Bravely Second was the next one that they talked about. I don't have too much to say about this because I didn't play Bravely Default, and I feel like a really bad person for not playing Bravely Default because everyone played Bravely Default, but I didn't. Bravely Second is obviously the sequel. It looks really neat. Bravely Default looked really neat though as well. So like, I expect it to look really neat. It's got a really neat
I do
art
really
style.
like the art style. It's very, very cool.
It's got a very cool art style. I really like it. I like some of the like cutscenes and stuff they showed look really neat. The gameplay they showed looked kind of the same as you'd expect an RPG gameplay to look. To be fair, but yeah, like I've heard really good things about Bravely Default. I haven't played it. I may play it at some point, but like I say, my thing with JRPGs, I have to be really in the mood to play them. Otherwise, I won't. I know I won't beat them.
Yeah.
That's really my thing. So I feel like I probably won't get this until I get Bravely Default and beat it. That's my opinion on it. But yeah, they're doing like a special edition thing where you get like the soundtrack and you get like a little figure or something with it.
Yeah, like a tiny statue. Yeah,
an art book. Yeah, you get like an art book and then like a tiny statue of one of the characters. It really is a tiny statue as well. It's literally about the height of a 3DS case. Or I think it's less than the height of a 3DS case. It really is a small statue. Don't think it's anything more than it is. But like, it's still neat, and it's still in the art style of Bravely Default, which, like I say, I've already said I like that art style. So like, it's pretty neat. What else did they talk about?
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, they did Dragon
Oh
Quest.
yes,
I don't have a lot to say about
Dragon Quest. Yeah, but Fire Emblem looks very cool as well.
But Fire Emblem, I'm looking forward to. I am a fan of Fire Emblem, and to be fair though, I've only played like one Fire Emblem game, but it was a good game. And I know I like the style of the things. I think it was the GBA one, Sacred Stones, was it? I think it was. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot, and I like the RPG tactical side of it. It kind of reminds me of Advance Wars, in how tactical it is. Like you move your guy, and then you either have a ranged attack or a up close attack, and you shoot things, or you use magic on things, or you slash things, or whatever. It's really neat. Big fan of it, and I'm quite liking what they're doing with this because they're doing a Pokemon. They have like the same game, but they have like two slightly different stories, making them different games that are following like different like storylines, but within the same like universe and at the same time or something. I'm not entirely sure how it's working, but like it looks really neat. And they're also doing like a third one, I think, as well, aren't they? And like to get the third one, you need to own
both the other ones, I believe.
You need to own both the other ones, or like you can like get all three in a bundle or something, which is what I'm probably going to do. And yeah, it looks really, really quite neat. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Also, the cutscenes and stuff they've shown look solid, and they're on the 3DS. Like, it amazes me how good they can make cutscenes look on a 3DS. Sometimes.
Yeah, it is impressive.
Because like those 3D models that they showed there look really nice. Like really nice. And like they're on the 3DS, and I have to keep reminding myself that fact. It's like, this isn't a Wii U tile, this is a 3DS tile, Rob. Like like, man, it's gonna be good. I heard that Awakening was really good for Fire Emblem. I didn't get around to playing it myself, and I'm sad that I didn't get around to playing it. At the time, I wasn't big into Fire Emblem at all. I didn't know about Fire Emblem at all in the slightest. But like, I heard Awakening was really good. because I didn't know about it, I missed out on the special edition and all the other cool stuff that came with that. And now I know about it, Awakening's actually kind of hard to find. I'm like, kind of expensive, kind of hard to find. I'm just going to skip it for now. And I kind of regret doing that because I've heard it's really good and interesting, but like, it'll do. I'll be alright. I'm surviving, I'm sure. And I think that's it. I think we've literally run over everything.
I think that's everything. Also, just a quick thing about this actual podcast is we were initially going to make it so it's not just Rob and I, we also have one or two other people. And we was wondering, would you have preferred if there were more people in this podcast, or do you prefer it with just one or two people? Yeah.
Just us two. If there was some big Pokemon news to come out, I would obviously go and get someone that knew about Pokemon, and that was my idea. I was originally there was going to be four of us, and there was going to be one person that was big on Zelda because there was a fair bit of Zelda news, one person big on Pokemon because there was a fair bit of Pokemon news, and then obviously Nick actually here with me now, who's kind of a bit of a general. I kind of like all this stuff, sort of thing. It's sort of more generalized. You don't know a lot about everything, but you kind of know a bit about everything. So, and like I say, I kind of like how it flowed.
Yeah, I think this worked out for our pilot episodes.
Yeah, so if you have any opinions or anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you've got any questions or anything to ask, once again, leave them in the comments. I do read all the comments, and I will get back to you once I've read. And
actually, do you have a Reddit? Do you have a subreddit?
I don't have a Reddit. I haven't even touched Reddit. I don't even know what a Reddit is. What's a Reddit?
I can't live with that.
I have a Twitter. I think links to that is in the description, probably, if I remember to put it in there. So you can find me on Twitter. I believe it's at one Nintendo Freak. So follow me on there, and obviously you'll get inputs and stuff like that. I obviously do a lot of Twitch live streams. So if you want to watch live streams of me doing things, then feel free to do so. And I also do obviously streams on YouTube as well these days as well, so you can either watch on YouTube, you can watch on Twitch, you can do whatever you want. Where can people find you on the internet? Do you have any sort of presence on the internet?
I have a Twitter and a Reddit thing, but I don't really have much of an online presence the same way you do. I'm just kind of keep it to myself and do my own thing. But yeah, we do need to get around to this Chrono Trigger playthrough.
We do need to play through Chrono Trigger. I can't wait. I really need to get around to doing it. I'm working so hard at the moment that I'm barely getting any time off, but we're getting off track again. So, right, we're going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will catch you in the next podcast that we do.
Bye.